Hi, I'm Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I help people just like you get to the next level. Have you had trouble developing your YouTube channel, getting more views, more engagement, etc.? I know that my struggle with developing my YouTube channel started in 2016 when I said, okay, I'm going to develop a YouTube channel, etc. And today's video is really just looking a look back at the whole process to get to here. I actually wore this shirt on one of my first, I think, really important YouTube videos, which was about the magic pill, about how there is no magic pill to do anything really. Everything requires a certain level of dedication and hard work. And YouTube is one of those things that I've discovered that is, what was once the idea itself, while a great idea. Hey, there is no such thing as a magic pill. What's funny enough is that video itself was not as big as I thought it would be. Considering that I labeled it the video worth $250,000, right? And I labeled it that it's worth that much because it's like, okay, well, in all my years of training and coaching, what's the number one takeaway in all of the work? And if you look at any top training idea, it's do the reps, commit to the process, never quit. And I'm finding that YouTube is no different, and really it itself is a type of workout, and it needs repetitions, it needs output, it needs a consistent, never let the ball fall kind of situation. And really just speaking from what is your platform? Like let's just say fitness and leadership coach, helping people just like you get to the next level. My first entry level into coaching is and was fitness and helping people get, lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds. That's been my main work on a daily basis. Tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be training someone in the morning, helping them get more muscle, helping them do some Olympic lifts, etc. So I'm a bona fide 100% coach on a daily basis. I really wanted to focus on developing this channel on leadership coaching and the mindsets of coaching. I think there's a lot of stuff out there that it's just like coach on a daily basis, and I don't have access to take this camera to the gym per se, and my sessions are private. I can't record them. I've not really focused so much on the fitness coaching here on these videos. And I think with time that'll change once I get a lot of the topics covered in leadership for the most part. Really the channel then has been devoted to those little mindsets, those mindsets and frames that help us break through. Because usually the breakthroughs that are mental breakthroughs help us continue to push through, right? In other words, there is no such thing as a magic pill. Well, once you swallow that reality, you can move forward, however difficult, however tremulous, no matter what. You want to talk about struggle. I'm currently at the most intensely challenging point probably of my life. Primarily because my dad was in the hospital, there's financial responsibilities I have to tend to, etc. So I really feel I'm being tested like no other time in my life, like at this stage, right in front of you in this camera. I started the morning off with Joel Osteen preaching. I just listened to like 3 to 4 hours in bed, and he was talking about how God has favor for you, and you're the one that God loves, and meaning you, myself. And so tell God, it's the one that you love. And see, you could feel that frame, that truth resonate through you. You can feel that you can speak to God in that way. God, it's the one that you love. These ideas are leadership ideas because they fuel us to push through and lead. Because life is challenging, like life will challenge you. If you look at Joel Osteen's church, there's got to be 10,000 people or more in that. I don't count. No one can count, but there's a lot of people in that church, right? And so when he's talking about struggle, and his main message seems to be like push through and God has favor for you and all these things, it's easy to understand that struggle is a universal understanding, that we struggle. And again, going back to my magic pill concept, there is no such thing as a magic pill. You have to do the reps. So with this video here, I mainly wanted to talk about what I see as the differences in 2 years and what those 2 years have composed of. And so going forward, what I see as the future for my YouTube channel, my online presence. So before 2016, my main online presence existed on Tumblr and Facebook and a little bit of Instagram. Like Instagram was pretty much last on my to-do list. Every day I'd wake up, post a Facebook post, and it was just original writing, original thoughts. And that was and it was always based on leadership. So if you think about how it evolved into a video format, it came from leadership thoughts and quotes on Facebook. Okay. Now that came from studying and implementing leadership ideas on a daily basis. Since 2001, I've read leadership books, everything from Think and Grow Rich, Robert Kiyosaki books, Jim Rohn books, Zig Ziglar books, Grant Cardone books, Neil Strauss books, currently the Warriors Way books. So really the study of leadership and development of self, programs with Brendon Burchard, programs with, you get the idea. Like, it's not been one teaching. As a matter of fact, what really gave me the confidence to continuously trust myself in the development of this teaching of leadership was that I began to see a common thread. Like, the common thread in my coaching was, consistency. And there's no magic pill. That's the common thread. And then the common thread in all leadership is to continuously do the reps, continuously do on YouTube, do the output, like no matter what, put the output out. That's got to be like pillar number one, put the output out. Above all things, put the output out. For example, like my current return on just metrics, like let's look at return on metrics because it doesn't necessarily equate to revenue just yet because I don't do ads or anything like that. I can reliably think that there's a 1% increase in view time for every video I make. That may be crap to some, but that's just where I'm at. And really looking at my own message and my own way of speaking in front of camera, being as raw as I can be, because that is, again, my current reality, where that's how I feel is the best to talk to my audience, people like yourself. That's me. But your particular message could be different. Maybe your message is to be more mysterious. Like there's women right now creating ASMR videos, and they're just whispering sexy noises, and they're getting a lot of views. I think with someone like that, it's a lot of views, it's a lot of traffic. I don't see myself being drawn to making an ASMR video content. I just don't. And so I think that when you make YouTube videos and it's going to be your face on the video, is there a congruency to who you present yourself in the outer world and who people see on the screen? Is that important to you? That's, I think, question number one. If there's absolutely no difference, so people that view my content on YouTube and they meet me in person, they really won't see much of a disparity at all. It's the same exact person. This is really just, you're basically here with me and I'm in front of my camera explaining this to you. So congruency, transparency, authenticity is part of my brand, okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's part of everybody's brand, okay? One of the key reasons is that my view as a coach is to help you break through some of your jumbled thoughts. And usually one of the quickest way to have lack of clarity is to lie to ourselves, right? So give you an example. I was struggling with some kind of dark thoughts and emotions last night. And, I woke up this morning and I listened to Joel Osteen, and I just listened and I believed in the message, and I believed in the favor of the Lord, and that takes strength in itself, and strength is a part of leadership. That takes faith, and faith is a part of leadership. that takes openness, and openness is a part of leadership. And so it takes so much courage to work with those strength, faith, listening, strength, openness. These are elements that take so much strength to function from. And I could tell you from experience that, if you struggle with those things, like having faith, having strength, being open, like even listening to me to this degree, I'm sure it's somewhat challenging because the elements are challenging to work with. Now, going back to my first video and the main differences I see from my first videos to now is that, like, my first video, I was wearing sunglasses. I was like Mr. Confident, Mr. Cool, saying this is the end of oppression. I thought, wow, this is going to blow things out of the water. Man, this is just bam. I was working with Jimmy Moon, and, he edited to the video a little bit. I was like, wow, this is going to just take off. And it didn't. And it did not take off. I had to look at things like metadata with time, like what's the correct metadata, or what are my metadatas. And I talked to JP, who has a successful YouTube channel. I focus on metadata, focus on the title and things like that. And then sometimes I don't have the perfect title and I still post a video, right? I still post a concept, and then it's like, well, how are you going to monetize this, Jacob? And I had a course on evolutiontraining.net, and that didn't go too well. Like, it was $100 a month plus advertising. So I spent like hundreds of dollars to get that up and going. And I thought, wow, this is really going to blow, this is such powerful stuff. I'm going to be well off with this because it's going to pay for itself. I ended up in the red on that. And that's where I started just doubling down on YouTube videos and saying, okay, well, if I can't make this stuff get out there for free, then what makes me think that I'm gonna be able to sell it, right? And so that's been sort of the strategy for the last 2 years, and really helped me find some of my main, you'd say, energy, some of my main messages, which is the consistent drive to progress. Like, for example, NoFap is a step towards progress, which requires discipline, self-evaluation, sacrifice, and like the harnessing of will. Like, that's intense leadership feelings inside. You're not going to find that in everyday conversation. You just aren't, because the society around us is built to sort of placate people in a more quick fix situation, because true sacrifice and development of self and personal development, it requires patience and time and like overall vision, and these are things of leadership, right? So that's why NoFap seems to be one of my, and sexual transmutation seems to be one of my consistent pillars, because it's like the epitome where a lot of us as men, a lot of us as people, whether if you're a woman watching my channel, a lot of us can understand that, look, if I'm really going to make impact in my life, I have to examine every element of my behavior, every part of my behavior, not just what I want or feel comfortable talking about. Like, I don't feel like super comfortable talking about sexual transmutation. It's like I'd feel more comfortable talking about a Lamborghini, or I feel more comfortable talking about food or something. So as I've gotten deeper into my channel, one of the key differences is, I opened up with the magic pill, right? I wore this shirt right here. And then as time has gone on, I've gone into deeper subjects, whether it's Jordan Peterson's past authoring. Yesterday I was talking about my pain and how the pit that I'm in and how I want out. And I think that, like I said, today I woke up, listened to Joel Osteen, and in many ways I feel like I'm out of that pit, but on a spiritual level, meaning like the facts haven't necessarily changed so rapidly as much as my mindset's changed. And so that does double down on what I'm saying, that mindset is, at the end of the day, what controls our behavior, what controls our reality. And that's why my channel's been so based on, tweaking the mindset. Okay. I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk that said, train for mindset. So in retrospect, the 2 years of YouTube I think that it's unfortunate. I feel it's unfortunate that some of the videos I've made, which I thought were amazing or really looking to contribute a message, for whatever reason, maybe they didn't have the right metadata, maybe they didn't have the right title, maybe I didn't look a certain way, I don't know, but I really thought they'd do better than they did. And I think that once you see that YouTube isn't going to give you exactly what you want all the time, and sometimes the stuff that you think, oh, that was okay, that might be the more popular videos, then that can kind of help you see, well, what is it about those videos that people liked? You know, I think that when I wear a sports coat, people tend to respond a little better to that, but it's not like, that's not necessarily the case. But yeah, little things like that. So in retrospect, as I close off here, the main difference, in my mindset, I'd say that 2 years ago, I was somebody walking in faith and taking a lot of confidence and thinking it would work out a certain way. And having those 2 years now to look at, you know, all of 2016, all of 2017, 18, 3 years really. You know, I've gone through so many challenges and some successes, like pretty cool successes. Going to Disney World with Advocare was one that comes to mind a lot. Starting work at a new gym, and that gym's a good environment. You know, making a lot of peace and growth and meditation over the last 3 years. That's been a huge shift. Starting the Warriors Way and the methodology and the concepts of stacking and the 4 keys and stuff like that. So really, today's version of me is more clear-minded and more developed in developing a channel. And the version of me 2 years ago had a more optimistic view, but not as much experience. And this version of me has a little bit more resilience. Optimism is still high. At the same time, I'm willing to work with the science more and do the reps and understand there's no magic pill, and that there is a certain level of pure tenacity needed for this. And you know, it's a little frustrating when I see videos that are, for me, that are, you know, basically just chicks that are sexy doing sexy things. Like, that tends to get views. But I think that my audience is one of, let me see how I could really tell you who my audience is. It's people, I've said it before, it's people that are looking to expand their consciousness, get an edge over the marketplace, and get results. Ultimately, you watch my videos to get results in your life. And that's 100% the reason to watch it. And I couldn't be happier to be aligned with people than to be aligned with people that are like that. So we'll see you next time. This is Jacob Adams. Comment below. This is me doing the reps. It's Sunday. I'm going to see my dad here in a bit. Spend some family time. Watched Joe Osteen on TV, meditated today. I've done my Warriors Way stacked in the 4 keys. And here I am just doing the reps because there is no magic pill. All right. See you next time.